So, here's a warning. There's a lot of swearing in this video. If you're not fond of it, please leave a comment, and if enough people get irritated by it, then I'll reduce it in the next videos. This is a very long video, so what I've done is in the description I've put the times in for when each segment starts, so that way if you already know something, you can just skip to the next bit. I understand this video is extremely long, so feel free to skip the parts that you already know and absorb the info. Become a fragger! Become a fragger!
Hi, I'm eLim, here with another episode of Get Good. If you're getting good, you're getting frags. And if you're getting frags, then you're getting good.
Alright, so, how do you get good? Well, get frags. But how do you get frags? I'll teach you how to get frags. But, before we move on to the episode, I would like to introduce a very special guest. MLG 720 No Scopes Fatality. Yeah, mate. Yeah, glad to be here, mate. Thanks for coming on. Would you like to tell our viewers a little bit about who you are? Yeah, I'm just a top fragger, mate. I'm just a top fragger. I just frag, and I'm on top. I'm a top fragger. Sick. Yeah, alright, mates. It is time for another episode of Get Good. So, today I want to focus on movement, weapons, and engagements. More specifically, under movement, I'm going to focus on air movement, which involves long jumping. I'm going to focus on some bunny hops and some crouch jumps. But quickly, before all of that, I want to show you guys a ladder trick. I'm pretty sure it was present in Counter-Strike 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source, but here it is again in CSGO. So, alright. So, this is Nuke. I'm sure most of you have played this by now. At Crow's Nest, or as some people call it ladder, there is a ladder. Funnily enough. And you can climb ladders in this game. A lot like many other games. So, most people just sort of jump on the ladder, or just go straight on it, and then they'll walk up and down using the W and A key, W and S keys, or if you use arrow keys or whatever, forwards and backwards. So, yeah, that's the standard way to go up a ladder. But there is actually a better way to go up and down the ladder, and it is if you shift your view 45 degrees to the left, and then you hold forwards and your strafe right key at the same time, you will go up the ladder much faster. So I'll show you the normal way first, is just jump on the ladder and go up forwards. And now I'll show you it the other way, with the jumping on the ladder, looking 45 degrees left, forwards and strafe key at the same time. As you can see, it's much quicker to go up the ladder that way, so I strongly encourage it. You can also do it the other way, where if you look 45 degrees to the right, and then you use your forwards key and your strafe left key, you can go up the other side as well. Yeah, so that's a very important ladder trick. Make sure that becomes a second nature every time you go up a ladder. Not bad. Not a bad trick. So, MLG 720 No Scopes Fatality. What do you think of this? Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, I agree. Hey, the faster you go up a ladder, the faster you get your frags. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Ah, very true, very true. Let's see what's next on the list, shall we? Fucking sunlight! Okay, now we're going to learn long jumping. Now, I'm not sure about Counter-Strike 1.6 as I didn't play it, but long jumping was a very common type of jump in Counter-Strike Source. And if you hear a bell in the background, that's actually my cat. Hey! So here, we're going to do a normal jump from this point, and we're going to see how far a regular jump goes, which is just, you know, hitting your jump key and moving forwards. So I'm going to jump off of this bullet hole, like this. And that's where I landed. Alright, that's a regular jump. And now if I long jump off of the hole, Now as you can see, I did get further, although that wasn't a very good long jump. A proper long jump will get you probably closer to around here. But as you can see, even just a bad long jump gets you further than what a regular forwards jump does. So,
Hold on a minute, did you just pull out your knife? MLG 720 no-scopes fatality. What's that all about?
Mate, you fucking run faster with your knife. You always do jumps with your knife. You hear me? You want to do a long jump? You do it with your knife.
Ah, you know everything.
How do I do a long jump? A long jump is basically where you start off moving forwards, and then halfway through moving forwards you start strafing and turning at the same time, and then as you're sort of about to finish a 90-degree turn, you jump. So, and if you noticed, I dip my aim at the end. I'm not sure if this increases the jump power or not, but it's something I learnt in Quake, and it seems to be effective in Counter-Strike as well. So, forward, strafe, turn, jump. Forward, strafe, turn, jump. And after enough practice, you'll actually be able to get some very important jumps done. For example, there is a jump called yellow, and it goes from here to here. And I'm going to show it, definitely without any editing or any retakes, how to get across this using a long jump. Hold on, but first I want to show you that you can't actually get this jump just by forwards jumping. I keep fucking bouncing off the edge of it. Oh, I got it.
Easy.
That looks like a pretty cool jump. But is it actually useful?
Yep.
Sick! Let's move on.
Yeah, guys. Alright. So, let's learn air movement. Air movement, funnily enough, is moving when you're in midair. So, for example, using air movement, I can jump straight. So, jumping in that direction, I can curve in midair and land on the nuclear silos here. Now, just to show that you actually have to use a technique, I'm going to use just the forwards key, jump off, jump straight, and try and move onto these silos in midair.
Fuck recording your dummy shit. You should be recording my TDM right now.
You can't, I'm in the middle of something. Now, if I do it with air movement, I can make it. Alright, all you have to do for air movement is strafe in midair and turn your mouse in that direction. So for example, if I want to jump off this silo and curve left, all I do is jump off, and as soon as I'm in midair, I let go of my forwards key. You have to let go of the forwards movement key. I start using my strafe left key, and I turn my mouse slowly in that direction. So, jump, let go, turn, and turn my mouse. If I want to turn right, I just do it in the opposite direction. I jump off, let go of my forwards key, put down my strafe right key, and turn my mouse right. Another thing I want to mention is that even though I told you that you should release your W key as you do your air movement left and your air movement right, you can actually use the W and S keys, or your forwards and your backwards keys, as air movement themselves. So if you want to if you want to turn left in midair, sideways, so I still want to do this jump, but I want to do it sideways, you can actually jump off of it sideways and then hold down your forwards key instead of your strafe right key, and then turn your mouse left, like this. And you will turn that way. And likewise, if you want to do it the other way, you hold your back key and move your mouse right. Pretty nifty, right? Yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy. Using air movement, you can do some pretty bullshit stuff. Like that. It's not a very useful jump, but you can do it. Air movement, yeah boy. One of the positives about air movement is that it does what's called air acceleration, which is where the more you turn in midair without losing speed, you gain speed. So, you know how we were doing the long jumps before, where we would go forwards, start strafing and then jump? Well, if you jump and then take your finger off of your forwards key and just use your strafe key while you're turning, you will actually jump even longer in your long jump. And yeah, it works out really well.
So, MLG 720 no scopes fatality. Are you getting sick of this boring shit yet?
Yeah, you must have read my mind. Yeah, you definitely read it.
Alright then, let's get to the good stuff.
And now, the one, the only, bunny hop. So bunny hopping is where you jump from one spot, you get to another, and then you jump again as soon as you hit the ground, and you actually gain speed from it. It was a very common tactic in, I think, the older Counter-Strikes, but mainly in Counter-Strike Source, since it allowed you to get to places faster that were down slope. And you could also use it to get around corners really quick, thus escaping enemy fire and all that sort of shit. So, like, for example, if you knew that there was someone hiding here, your standard strategy would probably just be to either pre-fire or to jump out and surprise him. But if you knew how to B-hop, you could actually sort of bunny hop underneath, and then you could, without doing a random 540, you could bunny hop out and then gain an extra advantage of speed over him, and then land and shoot him. And he would have to, because he'd be sitting here like this, he'd be waiting for you to sort of peek your head out, but all of a sudden you would just like fly out like over here, and he would have to try and flick his mouse and reposition his aim over your head. So in that time you just sort of like, whoa, boost, 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 or MLG 720 boost, boost, and yeah, and he's done. So it's also good to show off with, jumping off of boxes and stuff. But in CSGO it's actually extremely difficult. If you see this comparison between Counter-Strike Source and Counter-Strike Go, you'll see just how difficult it is to bunny hop. Okay, so how exactly do we bunny hop? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We use what we've learnt in our air movement, and we just switch it up each time. So for example, we'll start our long jump, and then we will jump into a turning right air movement. As soon as we hit the ground, we will jump and turn into our left air movement. So, long jump, right air movement, left air movement, right air movement, left air movement, right air movement, left air movement. If you're trying this yourself, you may notice that jumping is fucking difficult once you like land again. You won't be able to get it consistently. Like, see how even if I don't gain speed, I pop up again each time? You might have trouble doing that. The reason why that is I actually use my scroll to jump. So, we're going to bring down our console, and again, if you don't know how to get the console up, we go to options, we go to game settings, and make sure this enabled developer console is yes. After you've enabled console, you hit the tilde key, which is the key to the left of your number 1 if you're using an English keyboard. So bring that down, and then down in this little box down here we can actually type commands. And what we're going to do is we're going to bind the jump command to the scroll wheel. So I use scroll wheel down, most people use scroll wheel up. It's really a personal preference. So we're going to go bind, and then our key. So for me it's mouse wheel down, which will be M wheel down, and if you want to use the up mouse wheel, you just use M wheel up. So M wheel down, and then plus jump. You hit enter, and all of a sudden, when you scroll down, you can just fucking jump. So what you got to do is right before you hit the ground, after your air movement, you got to scroll as you're about to hit the ground, and then make sure that your scroll happens while you're touching the ground, and you'll pretty much every time pop back up as soon as you hit the ground. I'm sure there are much more detailed tutorials on how to bunny hop properly on YouTube, so I do suggest going and searching up those if you want to become a pro at it. Bunny hopping is quite a good skill to learn. and it can really get you out of some messes. For example, running away from the bomb before it explodes. If it's certain that you're going to die, you can try bunny hopping to gain an extra bit of speed right before the bomb blows up, and you might just live with 1 or 2 hit points.
Yeah, mate, while you're on Nuke, and you're teaching bunny hop, I'll show you a couple of cool things that you can do on Nuke with the bunny hop skill that you've just learned. Check it.
It's like, yeah, it's Counter-Strike minus 1 feature that made it Counter-Strike.
B-hopping is
Fucking
okay.
got it, cunt. I just fucking got it.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Did you
I've
B-hop
even
or
recording
strafe
it. B-hopped it. I don't think you can strafe
You
it,
can
man.
strafe it.
Fuck off.
Let's learn about guns now.
Yeah, mate. Time to learn some weapons, mate. So, in Counter-Strike, there are a variety of weapons. Fucking buy time is expired. There we go. So, I need money. Okay. So, there are your pistols. There are your submachine guns. That's what SMG stands for. Aren't I clever? There are rifles, your gear, which is just your Kevlar and stuff that we discussed last lesson, grenades, and heavies. So, let's start off with pistols. You usually use your pistols in a round where you're trying to save money, or in a round where you're forced to use them. For example, the pistol round, which is the first round in a match and you don't have enough money to actually buy any other type of weapon. Pistols are generally notorious for having next to no recoil. So for example, if I buy the dual Berettas, that is not a dual Berettas, but these are, and I aim at a wall, you'll notice that if I stand still, like we learnt last lesson, and I shoot, there's not much recoil going on there. The reason why only one bullet is shooting out of my Berettas, by the way, is because I have infinite ammo turned on. That is not a bug, it's just something I've done. But if you see that I'm strafing left and right, and I'm spamming the same amount, you can still see that the recoil is actually not that much. So if I'm standing all the way back here, and there's someone running around diggity here, if I'm strafing left and right, and I shoot, you can still see that all my bullets generally go to where the person would still be. So they're quite handy for running and gunning. All you need is some steady aim, some patience, and you can actually get a lot of kills with them. So yeah, just be aware that you don't need to do your like movement stop tactic, movement stop tactic, movement stop tactic. It is extremely useful to do that at long range. So for example, if someone was at mid and I'd do this, but if they were coming up here, I would just be doing this and hopefully frogging them. So if we just go through our pistols, we have our Glock, which is the terrorist starting pistol. It has a burst fire mode, but the burst fire mode is shit, so I don't recommend using it. We have the P250, which is an extremely powerful gun, but only has a clip size of 13. So if you've got good aim, and you can aim at heads, this is a good head fragging weapon, and it's only $500, which makes it a solid alternative to the Desert Eagle, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, hold it right there, mate. Yeah, show them my clip using the P250 just so they know what it does.
What?
Watch this. This is the worst game.
No! Second. You have the P2000, which is the counter-terrorist starting weapon. Has a clip size of 13. Pretty useless gun. I don't like it personally. There are some people that do. I think it's a load of shit. Because it's only got a clip size of 13. The recoil is off the chart. But apparently it's good if you just spam it. That was my emails. I get a lot of emails.
ES57 is an absolutely dreadful pistol. I don't want to go into it. It is complete nut of shit.
Don't you give me that, mate. Check this clip of the ES57, mate.
Oh my god, it's so shit. Every time I launch CSGO, in my screen.
They're doing isn't annoying. The fact that they keep doing this.
We have the dual Berettas, which is the guns I was just using then. Has a clip size of 30, which is fucking giant. They do cost a lot at $700, but they can get you frags. If you're playing against, if you know for a fact that you're playing against unarmored opponent, that if you know for a fact that you're playing against unarmored opponents, that is opponents that have not purchased Kevlar and helmet, then you can frag heads, man. You can frag heads with these fucking pistols. They're sick. And then we have the infamous Desert Eagle. Actually, it's famous, actually, not infamous. It cost a lot less than Counter-Strike Source. I'm pretty sure it was $650. Here it's an entire $800, which means if you buy it in the pistol round, you're left with no money. So why is this pistol special? It only has 7 fucking clip size. Its fire rate is null. Its movement rate is pathetic. Its accuracy is pretty shit. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Counter-Strike noob. The penetration rate is ×2, which means no matter what, if this bullet collects someone's head, they become deceased. Like they're visiting the fucking graveyard. Oh, funnily enough, there's actually a graveyard on this map. People call this area here graveyard, by the way. Yeah, so obviously it doesn't count for if you're shooting through an object and then it hits someone's head or whatever, but even if they've got helmet and the bullet doesn't go through anything else, you will kill the person with the deagle. It's a very powerful pistol.
Yeah, nah, just show them my deagle clip. Show them why. Show them why, mate.
Jesus.
Now we have the submachine guns. Now the submachine guns keep new players in the game because they really don't reward aim. They have no recoil, you can run and gun just like the pistols, and they're automatic. So that makes these guns absolutely bizarre. The P90 here has a massive clip size of 50, like that is a giant clip size, right? It has a fire rate off the chart as well. Its movement rate is really good. It says its accuracy is shit, but it's not. It has a crazy accuracy. Let me show you this friggin' gun. Holy crap, man. Also, if you get a kill with this gun, you get $900 per kill, I think. Pretty sure it's $800 or $900. That's a lot of money for one kill. So here we are. I'm standing still. Look at that. All I did was hold down mouse 1. That was none of this bursting stuff, which is all I did was hold it down. Furthermore, if I'm running and gunning, shit, I've got bullet holes there. If I'm running and gunning, look at that. Look at that lack of recoil, man. This thing is a fucking massacre machine. You can just go, oh, there's a whole team in carpets. And then the round is over. You've just won the round. So, yeah. The SMGs are run and gun. They're cheap. But they do falter at long range. They don't have a high penetration rate, so they can't kill enemies in one bullet to the head. And their damage over distance is pretty poor. So if I shoot someone, if someone is like right where this corner is, and I'm standing here, I'm just like buzz, I deal a lot of damage to them. But if they are over at the stairs, and I do this, even if every single one of those bullets hit them in the chest or higher, they probably would not die because SMGs do like no damage over distance at all. It's quite bad. So we have our MP9, standard run and gun weapon, very close range. We have our MP7, same thing, but a little bit better. Your MP45 is more like a rifle. You should be firing it in bursts, but you can spray it at close range. It's quite a good weapon. You see it used a lot in competitive games because it deals a lot of damage to the head now, and it has a high movement rate, which means that you don't need to pull out your knife if you need to get somewhere quick. The PP Bison, most people are like, they take one side or the other here. You either love it or you hate it. Has a gigantic clip size of 64, but its damage is low, and its I don't know, its accuracy is not very good. But yeah, it does have a super high movement rate, nearly that of the knife. So the P90 is the most expensive SMG, coming in at $2,350, but it's a fucking, like I said before, it's a massacre machine. You can butcher entire teams in seconds. I wish I recorded some footage for you guys, but I didn't. Alright, rifles. Yeah, boy, this is where it gets tasty. So, on the counter-terrorist side, and the reason why I say that is because the counter-terrorists and terrorists actually have different rifles. On the counter-terrorist side, we have the FAMAS. We have the M4A4, we have the SSG-08, the AUG, the AWP, and the SCAR-20. So the FAMAS is called the FAMAS. We usually call the M4A4 just the M4. The SSG-08 is actually referred to as the Scout. The AUG, I guess we call it the AUG. It used to be known as the Bullpup. The AWP is called the AWP. The SCAR-20 is usually called the CT Auto or the DAC. Shut up, cat. The FAMAS is used as a budget rifle. It's really only used if you can't afford the M4A4. So it's quite a good weapon. It has a relatively low clip size of 25, but it has quite good recoil, and it also has a burst fire function, which you can access usually by hitting mouse 2, which is the default key, which will automatically shoot 3 bullets for you, and they're quite on target, so it's useful to know. But at the same time, if you're using automatic and you burst fire yourself, then it has the same result. So really, the burst fire mode is only to help new players that can't control their burst fires. Now we have the M4. Now the M4 is the weapon you should be getting good with on counter-terrorists. It's a very solid all-round weapon. You can use it up close and spray. You can use it at medium distance and burst. And you can use it at very long distances and tap. It deals 2 damage headshots to armored opponents, and I'm pretty sure you can 1B someone, which is kill them in 1 bullet, if they don't have a helmet on. You can run pretty fast with it. It has good fire rate. It's just a good weapon. You need to get good with it. It's one of the de facto weapons in Counter-Strike and competitive play. I don't really want to get too much into the other weapons, but I will give them a brief rundown. The SSG, is the Scout, is just a weapon that can only kill via headshot in 1 bullet. You can't kill people just by shooting in the chest. I do think there's a way to 1-kill someone if you shoot them in the neck, but I'm not too positive on that, or maybe in the heart. I'm not sure. The AUG is not a weapon, so we're not going to talk about that. It's a waste of money. The AWP, well, we're going to talk about the AWP. The AWP is good. So the AWP is like the sniper rifle. The problem is, it only has a clip size of 10. It has a very slow time of firing between shots. Like, that took me a long time to shoot just 4 bullets, right? So it takes a long time. It's also very heavy. If you see when I'm running with my knife, I move quite quick. When I move with my AWP out, it's a lot slower, which means that you're easier to hit. And yeah, so with the AWP, you always want to have cover. So I want to be hidden by most of this wall. You want to try and engage all your opponents at long range, since you have the upper hand of having the clarity of using a scope. You want to shoot them, hide, wait for the bolt, strafe back out just as your scope comes back on. Because if you have the scope in, you shoot, it'll come back up automatically like that. If you're aiming somewhere and you need to look away, so you want to look over there for example, instead of right clicking again and undoing your scope and then aiming here, you do what's called a quick switch. Quick switch is usually set to Q, and what it does is it selects the last weapon used. In this case, it doesn't matter what your last weapon is because you're going to be going straight back to your AWP. What you do is you hit Q twice really quick, and that will bring your weapon back out like that. The reason why that is because sometimes you'll be in just one time zoom, and then you have to zoom in and then zoom out to turn. So it's easier to just get into the habit of quick switching and aiming like that.
Show me some clips.
About.
Bombers ramp down.
Absolute bullshit.
Oh!
Nice. Yeah, the last. Check on it. Oh, you fucked.
Christ. Defuse.
Fucking cheating.
Cheater. Why didn't you defuse, Connor?
Yeah, I listened to Josh.
The SCAR 20, aka the CT auto rifle, is just a semi-automatic sniper rifle. Deals a lot of damage, deals one-shot kills to the head, but is extremely expensive, and it's just... I don't know, the problem is, if you're going to be using a sniper rifle that costs this much, you're probably going to be going up against an AWPer at some stage, and the AWP will just beat this gun, because unless you're really good at fragging heads long range, you're going to hit them in the torso, and in the 2 or 3 bullets it takes to kill them, when you're not shooting their head, the AWP will just fucking kill you, like no matter what. So you want to stay away from the auto sniper if you can, but it is very good for showing off, and it's quite effective in pub matches since it has a clip size of 20 and deals a lot of damage. Alright, now I have the terrorist side. So the terrorist side rifles consist of the Galil, the AK-47, the Scout again, the SG-553, the AWP, and the G3 SG-1. So the Galil is referred to as the Galil. Even when it was called the Defender in Source, people still called it the Galil. Quite a good rifle. It used it in the same circumstances as the FAMAS. Has a good fire rate, good at bursting, quite good at tapping. But yeah, what we want to talk about is the AK-47. So the AK-47 is the best rifle in the game. It only costs $2,700. It will kill opponents in one shot to the head, unless through an object. So, and it's also extremely accurate when you tap it or you burst it. So for example, all of those bullets went where I aimed them. And even if I burst it, all the bullets are very close to each other. It's actually my fault that they're not right on each other. I have a very bad habit of pulling down. So yeah, this rifle deals a lot of damage, and it has a high fire rate as well when you're spraying. So it's a very good idea to get good with this rifle, because this is the rifle that can end rounds 1 versus 5. We have the Scout again, already gone through that. We have the SG-553, aka the Krieg. It's shit, let's move on. Have the AWP again, and then we have the terrorist version of the auto sniper. Same deal as the CT automatic sniper, except it's not as good. Alright, now we got some... don't have enough money. Okay, now we have some grenades. We have the HE grenade, which is the high explosive grenade. We have our smoke grenade, we have our flashbang grenade, we have our decoy grenade, and we have our Molotov. On the counter-terrorist, this is called the incendiary grenade, but it does the same thing. So, for our HE grenade, if you throw it, it blows up. deals a lot of damage. The closer it is to opponents, the more damage it does. You can deal up to, I think, like 88 damage if it's right next to them and they're unarmored. Good grenade to use. I do recommend buying it when you can. Flashbang. The flashbang grenade is the grenade of champions, man. Like, I need to turn off infinite ammo. With a flashbang grenade, with a very well placed flashbang grenade, you can completely blind your opponents for up to like 5 seconds. So let's say there was someone standing there for some ungodly reason. If I went booze and it landed right in front of him, I have the freedom to just come out and go and just booze him in half. Because one, they're either going to go, oh, I don't want him to know I'm here, so I'm not going to shoot. In which case you walk out, you see him, you're like, lol, you're not shooting, and then you just fucking shoot his head. The other case is they go, oh no, and they panic, and then they just sort of go like this. In which case, you sit there and you watch the bullets, and as soon as they run out, buzz, you kill them. So flashbang grenades are very important, and they're used a lot in competitive play, especially to push into bomb sites. We have the decoy grenade, which if I throw it, starts making sounds. And what it does is it makes the sound of your primary weapon. For some reason it didn't, because I had my Glock out. But yeah, it makes the sound of your primary weapon and also puts a little icon of you on the opponent's radar. So it's very good for faking positions and stuff. Now we have our Molotov. The Molotov is quite good. You can cover areas with fire, and that fire does damage over time, and it also produces smoke. So let's say I'm on the counter-terrorists, and I'm like, oh fuck, there's fucking 5 counter-terrorists, 5 terrorists coming up, oh no, oh no. Before you get booked absolutely in half because you're jumping up and down in front of 5 terrorists, you can throw a Molotov down. What this does is it covers this whole area in fire. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. And if you walk in it, you take a lot of damage. If you walk in it for long enough, you die. So what that does is that pretty much stops the terrorists in their tracks. They can't just walk through that, or they'll all get killed, and you'll get 5 kills even though you're already dead. So during the process of the terrorists getting booked there, you can pretty much have your team set up at this bomb site, and whoever was at the other bomb site, you can have them starting to push down. So you could have one person probably here, and you could have the other guy push into carpets and probably protect around here. And that way you've cemented an area that the terrorists can't get to, and you've covered some more ground. So the Molotov grenade is very good for delaying and distracting. And it can also kill opponents. But it costs $850, and that's a lot of money for a grenade. So you have to be using it for pretty specific strategies. I forgot to include smoke grenades. But that's not a problem, because my next video is going to be on advanced grenade usage. So I'll quickly touch on the heavy weapons. Haha, insert awful TF2 joke here. XOXO, I'm so funny, comedian of the fucking year 2012. Anyway, this pretty much just sports shotguns and massive fucking machine guns. So the shotguns are pretty much the same as from the old Counter-Strike. You want to be hopping a lot with them, going around corners, jumping in the air, and just sort of causing a lot of grief by doing this. It's not as accurate as if you would just do it on the ground like this. The reason why shotguns are so ridiculous is because up close they kill people in one shot. You can use them in mid-air to kill people around corners in one shot, etc. Where they downfall is anything that is further away than what I am from this corner of the wall. They suck medium to long range very much. That's why I didn't really want to touch on them. The machine guns are a waste of money. Basically, for what costs more than a auto sniper, you get something that's much more inaccurate. Stay away from these awful devices unless you are just having some fun. Alright, so we've pretty much covered all of the basics of Counter-Strike now. So I'm probably going to start moving on to more advanced things. Like, for instance, I wasn't actually able to get through the engagements part for this video because it would just take too long. So my next video is going to be on advanced engagements, like when to attack, how to attack, when to run, how to run. And I also want to do advanced grenade usage, so tactical smokes, pop flashbangs, double grenading, decoy strategies, Molotov strategies, all that sort of stuff. That all will be in my next video. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, then fucking congrats, and thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you like it, leave a comment of what you want in the videos, and frag up. What? That's MLG 720 no scopes fatality. I'll let you sign out this one. I'll see you guys next time. Laters. Yeah, nah, mate. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Hey, yeah. You guys should watch out for my my Barbie's Pony World montage coming out. It's got some 6 720s in it. I got 15 prestige hairbrush for my pony. Yeah, it'll be fucking rad, so keep a lookout for that. I hope I can come on the show again at some other stage. Look, I'm gonna go top frag, so I'll be back later, hey. Fucking see you later, hey.